o'clock now on this Tuesday morning, July 17th, 2007. And here's proof that Michelle Pfeiffer is a whole lot more than just a pretty face. The three-time Academy Award nominee can belt out a tune as well. And here she is singing her signature number from the new movie Hairspray. It's called Miss Baltimore Crabs. And there is the lovely lady herself schmoozing with some of the folks in our crowd. And we're going to catch up with Michelle Pfeiffer in just a few minutes. And I'm Meredith Vieira, standing next to Matt and Al. Okay.
Up next, Michelle Pfeiffer on her new movie musical, which is called Hairspray. There's Michelle right there. And Meredith will talk to her right after this.
Three-time Academy Award nominee Michelle Pfeiffer is back on the silver screen, co-starring with the likes of John Travolta, Christopher Walken, and Queen Latifah in the new movie version of Hairspray. And in her latest role, Pfeiffer acts, sings, and dances, proving once again that she is a real triple threat. As one of Hollywood's leading ladies, Michelle Pfeiffer has played a good witch, a bad cat, a tortured soul, and a torch singer who could swing with the best of them. In the new movie Hairspray, Pfeiffer is back to belting, this time as the evil Velma Von Tussle, a woman who will stop at nothing to get her way. And Michelle Pfeiffer joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I understand the premiere was last night here in New York. How was it?
It was fantastic. Exuberant. It was. It's by far the funnest premiere, not only New York but Los Angeles as well, of any movie that I've ever had.
Is it fun to watch it with an audience, or do you get a little nervous?
I normally get really nervous, really anxious. I realize about halfway through it that I've stopped breathing. But I was never nervous with this because it is such an audience pleaser.
It is. I told you, my daughter and I watched it together, and we were dancing. By the end of it, we were up and dancing.
Well, I wish you had seen it actually with a big audience, because it's so much a part of the experience of it, because people applaud and they're laughing and yelling at it's just fantastic.
But it's not just fun. We had Queen Latifah on yesterday. We were talking about this. It also has a real message that has to get out.
Yeah, without being too heavy-handed. You know, it has this really important and powerful message that just kind of washes over you throughout the entire film.
That you can change things in life, that you need to.
And it sort of turns all of those stereotypes on its head, you know, in terms of what is beautiful, what is socially acceptable, and it does it in such a delightful, entertaining way.
And you play not a nice lady. She's really...
No, she's pretty hateful.
She's very hateful, but she has a sense of humor. We'll give her that, actually.
I don't know that she has a sense of humor, but...
But you deliver a sense of humor with her.
Hopefully we will find her funny.
We actually have a scene with you with Chris Walken, and you were trying to seduce him. Not too successfully. Can we put that up, guys?
Husband accidentally suffocated.
You need a fella.
I do need a fella.
And the way to a man's heart is through his funny bone. Now, here's an icebreaker for you.
Do you find that people are surprised that you're funny?
Yes. I'm surprised that I'm funny, ever. I don't consider myself funny. I always feel that I'm the straight man, usually, in a movie, but, yeah. And I don't find myself funny, actually.
Even when you watch it, you don't...
No.
Are you're your worst critic, then,
Well,
probably? Yeah, which is often the case. Are you one of those people that thinks that any day someone's going to discover that you're a fraud?
I'm an imposter.
Yeah, I go through it. What is that about? Because you're highly successful.
I don't know, bad potty training. I don't know, something deep and dark
that you probably don't want to find out.
And I don't want to share.
Yeah. Well, you have a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old, a daughter and a son. They've seen this movie of Mom acting in this villainous way. What did they think of it?
I think they are delighted to see me. You know, I think in the beginning they weren't sure. First of all, it's the first premiere they have ever been to of any movie that I've made. Actually, it's the first premiere they had ever been to. And it was so obvious that this was the right one to bring them to, and they're at the right age. And but when I was working on the film, and I would bring home photographs and Polaroids of this and that, their eyebrows would kind of raise, and you know, and Claudia at one point said, "Mom, a little over the top." I said, "Yeah, it is."
But is that what you kind of like about it, playing against what people assume is your type?
I'm grateful that people think it's against my type, but I like, yeah, I guess it's nice to, you know, surprise yourself and to surprise others, and, you know, to venture into sort of dangerous territory. I really, certainly it wasn't within my comfort zone, the character or the tone of the piece, or, you know, even though I had done Grease 2 and I had done Baker Boys, and this was sort of, for me, the first real musical that I would consider sort of, I'm sorry, my foot.
No, that happens to me too. That's all right.
So it was a little scary, but it was really, that was why I wanted to do it. It was a lot of fun.
When I told friends that I was interviewing you today, so many of them said the same thing to me. Where has she been? Ask her where she's been. We've missed her.
I've been in carpool.
Don't you feel like you're always
in
a carpool?
Yeah.
So you wanted to spend more time at home, and
I've always wanted to spend more time. Well, not necessarily at home. I don't really care where I am, but I, you know, want to be with the family, and
it's harder as they get older, really.
It is. It is. And I just think, you know, I've been busy, and before I knew it, all this time went by.
Yeah.
And my kids were even starting to say, "Are you, Mom? Are you ever going back to work?"
And you not only go back in this, but you have another movie coming out, Stardust, in which you play a very ugly witch. Again, a witch.
Yeah.
Against type, Michelle. But you do turn beautiful, from what I understand.
For a little bit of the time, yeah.
So which way do you like yourself more, this way or the other way?
Which way? The old hag way?
Yeah, or that way.
Or the Velma Russell way?
No, the old hag way or that way.
Oh, I would say probably that way. It was much less time in the makeup chair.
To just be yourself.
And a lot more comfortable not having all of that rubber glued to my skin.
Well, it's such a pleasure to see you.
Great
it's been
to
a
see
long
you.
time. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you so much.
Hairspray opens on Friday, and that same day, Queen Latifah and the Hairspray cast will perform songs from the movie out on the plaza. Coming up in the next half hour, Grilling with the Scottos.